Good morning and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this morning. Decided to do a pre-recorded one. It is 8:10 in the morning, Celtic part time. I thought I would do a pre-recorded this morning. So, Celtic yesterday put out a statement. And the statement that we would all have seen, we've all seen the news headlines following the events at Celtic Park last night, Thursday evening, in our Europa match against Stuttgart. Interim chairman Brian Wilson has provided the following update, saying that he was deeply disappointed. And then we all know what the statement says. But the interesting part is, however, the possibility of further disruptions need to be addressed urgently. Surely the priority must be to give Martin and our players every opportunity to achieve their objectives within the remainder of the season. On that basis, I will continue to seek an end to this debilitating, unnecessary atmosphere of conflict. There's no winners in this. There's no winners at all. Celtic don't come out of it. The fans aren't coming out of it looking. The fans are now at each other's throat. When you look at the North Curve Celtic, they put out, despite the recent platitudes of unity from the club, last night marked the 24th match that 250 Celtic fans have been banned for, following no fair process or logic, and with seemingly no end in sight. Last night, even away fans highlighted this alongside other Celtic fans. And also, nobody's taken responsibility for the balls that went onto the pitch. Obviously not, because Celtic would ban them. It's as simple as that. Celtic Fans Collective, they haven't put out a statement since the 17th of February. Now we're sat on Saturday, the 21st. In October, the Celtic Fans Collective launched Not Another Penny campaign in response to continued mismanagement of the club on many levels. The latest PC interim results show that it's working. The campaign goes on until real change is delivered. What is real change? And I know that people say, we want rid of Nicholson, we want rid of Chris Mackay. But Dermot Desmond will just bring in his next puppets. This is a call out to both sides. You know, I know that Celtic want to engage with the fans and want to engage with the groups, but I mean, really, what does real change look like? That's the question that you need to ask yourself this morning, because Dermot Desmond will bring in people that he knows, likes, and trusts to run the club. He will have the final say. That's not change, is it? We're damaging ourselves. We're damaging our reputation, and I find it hard to see where and how, and if ever, that Celtic can get back to the kind of atmospheres that a lot of us grew up with. Or has it gone past that? Has it gone past the fact that, you know, even as little as 6, 7 years ago, when you had the full stadium singing Discoland, when you had the full stadium singing you just can't get enough, when you had the whole stadium singing 67, is the damage between the fans too much now? Is the disparity between ultras and non-ultras? And the reason that I'm talking about this is I got a message on Facebook, on YouTube yesterday, after that had just come off the live. Now, as far as I was aware, it was the Celtic Fans Collective that had decided to throw the balls onto the pitch. It was not going to be the boys ultras, as they would get an instant ban, just like the Green Brigade, if it was them. But so it was unclear. It was agreed with the Celtic Fans Collective that there would be something. I didn't stay to the end of the meeting. I came off the meeting because I had things to do, and I don't think anyone really knows what went on and who did it. But it was spoken about with over 200 fans groups. Now, This is an interesting one that came in after the video yesterday. You probably won't read this, but as it went out an hour ago. I missed the balls being thrown onto the pitch, and I didn't know it was happening. What I did see happening was the collective thugs, at least 100 plus dressed in black, not a Celtic scarf between them, throwing things at scarfers who dared to challenge them. I had my grandson with me, and he was frightened. It was bang out of order, and the collective need to have a good look at themselves. They endorsed thuggery inside the ground. We always promoted ourselves as better than that. He goes on to say, well, that ship's sailed. The collective have sanctioned thuggery in the ground to teenagers. These teenagers are our next generation, and I wouldn't want to call them fans. I'm scunnered. We need a better standard of player. The board need to stop taking a wage for doing nothing. And would Casper pass a medical if we went to sign him today? I get that. I brought both my daughters up at Celtic Park, taking them to the football every week. £50 season ticket for kids, absolutely fantastic. Had them going to the football for years. Never, ever did I feel that it was an unsafe environment for them. It was probably the best environment that I could have brought them up in. Going to the football every weekend, every second weekend with their dad. And they've grown into fantastic adults. Not once did they ever feel scared. And they sat in 111 before the Green Brigade moved down to that section. It's a sad indictment of where we are. And people will say, and I got blamed yesterday, it's podcasts like you that are sowing division within the club. It's a new one. I just don't see where the winners are. Chris Sutton's been speaking about it on his column this morning, saying that he would bang heads together, bang skulls together. I don't know if that was a nod to the Green Brigade or if it was a nod to, do you know, we do need, and it's a sad indictment of the fans. I've said this before. It's a sad indictment that we need the Green Brigade to make the noise in the stadium. There was once upon a time that we didn't really need to do that. And the reason I'm doing this as a pre-recorded video this morning is to make sure that, you know, I don't have any disruptions on what I want to get over. And I think that, you know, the away fan base is the real. I've said this before. People who go to all the away games, people who go home and away are the lifeblood of the club. Even through the Ronnie years, they had an affiliation with Ronnie. And by the way, we've got Ronnie. The Ronnie years Mark II are coming to Celtic. Seen a picture yesterday of Ronnie's assistant at the time when he was at Celtic, sitting with the Motherwell manager at Celtic Park. And it would just be like Celtic. Yeah, we'll bring in the Motherwell manager and we'll bring in John Collins. It's the Ronnie years Mark II that's coming. And a change of manager next season will give us a little bit of boost. You know, there may be some changes on the board. But has the damage been done now? Has it been done where fans no longer trust each other? There's going to be a split between the ultras and the fans even more now. Will fans join in with the ultras? Don't know. Where does it go from next? Anyway, we have a game this weekend. You wouldn't think so with all the nonsense that's going on in the media. We do have a game this weekend, and in the referee for the game this weekend is Daniel McFarlane. No, it's not. It's Matthew McDermott. Sorry. Daniel McFarlane is the linesman, with Chris Ray as the other linesman. And on VAR is Grant Irvine and Ross Hardy on VAR. Celtic versus Hibernian. 3 o'clock kickoff at Celtic Park on a Sunday. Even better. 3 o'clock kickoff on a Sunday. Great for all those travelling fans. But anyway, it is what it is. It's not an easy game for Celtic. No game is easy for Celtic right now. And whilst the players understand, they need to do more to motivate the fans in the stadium to make some noise for the boys. Without the Green Brigade, without the boys, ultras, and they understand that. But it doesn't look like there's an appetite for it for the stands, does there? I mean, everybody watching from TV, you know, the myth. You know, it is now a myth. The Celtic Park atmosphere, European nights, done and dusted. I don't think that we'll ever get back to the way. I mean, I think back to the night of the Barcelona game and the atmosphere that night. You could actually feel the stadium shaking with people bouncing about that night. And it was madness. And I don't think that we're ever going to get back to that, which is sad. It makes me sad. Don't know about you. But anyway, getting back to everything Celtic, who does the manager pick this weekend? We all know that when you look at the fixtures that we have coming up, when you look at the fixtures, look at the games that we've just had, it's been quite a successful month apart from the Stuttgart game. We do have Hibernian and then Stuttgart. We're out of Europa. I think that we fucked it up big time, didn't we? And it's not a good Stuttgart team. They were well organised and stuff. You know, it wasn't. They didn't overly impress me, that Stuttgart team. Yes, they might get to the later stages of the competition, but a good Celtic team beats that Stuttgart team all day long at Celtic Park, all day long. And I think that was the disappointing thing about the whole night. Now you can go on and say, you know, that the balls thrown onto the pitch kind of stopped everything. Well, it didn't, because you still had 90 minutes to play. And I'm going to be honest, that was the thinking behind the stoppage at the Celtics fans collective online meeting. They said, "We'll do something at the start, so then the players have still got the 90 minutes to go." Surprised that it started when the game started, to be honest. I thought they might have done it through the anthems or something, but they got their point across. We'll look at the games that we've got ahead in the next couple of weeks. Rangers, in a week's time. Aberdeen away, and then Ibrox for the Scottish Cup. It's not going to be easy. We need the fans together. Luckily, it's away games and it's not at Celtic Park, because I think that if the majority of these games were at Celtic Park, I think that the players would have felt the pressure from the stands. Hopefully, that it is the fact that it is away from Celtic Park, it allows the players to have a little bit more freedom and belief that they can do the job. But then the Celtic fans, there's a lot of people thinking, you know, this team's not going to do anything. It's not the standard. Will Kasper Schmeichel play? That's the big one. Who really starts for Celtic? Does Kasper Schmeichel start? Does Sinisalo start? Sinisalo had a great run towards the end of the season. The year that Kasper was carrying an injury, and then Kasper came back in for the Scottish Cup final, and we lost it. Tell me your thoughts in the comments with that one, because the defenders, we're going to be going with Liam Scales and Austin Trusty. It's all that we'll have, whilst Alistair Johnson and Cameron Carter-Vickers are out. Julian Araujo will start also with Kieran Tierney against Hibernian. That'll be the back four. Araujo, Tierney, Scales and Austin Trusty. In the midfield, it will be Callum McGregor, it will be Oxlade-Chamberlain and Benji Negrin, that'll be the midfield three for me starting the game this weekend. Rio Hatate has just done absolutely nothing to confirm that he's motivated to be at Celtic at all. Unfortunately, Celtic will start with Dyson Maeda, and I think that people will, and maybe not actually. I think you might see Joe Mavuka coming into the game for this one. You'll see Joe Mavuka coming into the game, and maybe Dyson dropped. Would you even drop Tenexti? And Big Tam up front. A lot of Celtic fans aren't overly convinced with Big Tam up front. Do you start with Junior Adamu? And Michelangelo Balikwisha has taken everything off his social media regarding the Celtic. And do you blame him? You know, we chased a player for 2 years and then we're just ruining his career by. I mean, who chased the boy for 2 years and then, you know, it's just. It's everything about Celtic this season, isn't it? Kelechi Iheanacho, I certainly wouldn't give him a contract next year. You cannot give him a contract, and you have to let the next manager assess whether Iheanacho is worth. And he's not. I'm sorry. But anyway, that's my thoughts on everything Celtic right now. I should be. Well, I'll be back on later on this afternoon, and maybe tell me your thoughts on the team in the comment section. Give me a score prediction in the comment section, and tell me what you think about the situation with the board and the Green Brigade and the Ultras and the Celtic Fans Collective. The Celtic Fans Collective think that they're winning. They're not. They're not. They're not winning the hearts and minds, and they're not winning the political game, challenge, whatever it is that they're trying to do with Celtic. Was it an own goal the other night? Something had to happen. I think demonstration banners around the stadium would have been more uniting. And at a time that we've still got a chance in the league and that we still have a chance in the Scottish Cup. I don't want to get to the end of the season with regrets. Let's just back the team and sack the board. Have a fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world.